What's up, everybody? It's Danny Green here, back with more Inside the Green Room on NBC Sports Philadelphia. My co-host, Harrison Sanford. And today we have joining us none other than my guy, Tobias Harris. We get a chance to talk about the shot, the upcoming playoffs, getting engaged, fashion, and so much more. Let's get into it.
Before we get to the Tobias Harris interview, Danny, I do want to go back to one of the best missed shots in the history of basketball. That game against the Phoenix Suns, Joel's more than half court heave. I don't know what the actual feet were. What was your viewpoint on that when it was going down in the aftermath?
It's funny, man, because CP, Chris Paul, he likes to mess with people at the foul line. So he was talking trash to Joel. I think it was the fourth quarter. Joel went to the line. He was trying to get in his head by saying, "I've never seen him miss in the fourth quarter. I ain't never seen him miss in the fourth quarter." And I think Joel had missed that shot. So CP gets fouled, and before it even happens, I'm talking trash. I ain't never seen Chris Paul miss in the fourth quarter. And he's like, right. He hears us all talking like he's about to make this shot. So I'm like, oh, he about to give us one. I said, he missed. And I think Torrey Craig was next to me. So I'm right underneath y'all. I'm boxing out. And I'm making sure Torrey Craig don't get the rebound. I'm like, shit, he missed. One of us, me or Joe, got to get it and toss this thing. So I had my viewpoint was right behind Joel. When he caught it and threw it, no way he's making this. And it went, as it was a tough game, mind you. Everybody's tired. Going overtime would have killed us. But as it was on target, I was like, damn, this might go in. Hit the backboard, and it was kind of like, I wouldn't say like Kawhi shot, but it was like that. It seemed like it took longer than it actually happened in real time. It seemed like the ball was traveling for like 5 seconds, and when it hit the rim, the backboard, another 2 seconds. I was like, damn. And even when it went out, it still took everybody in the arena and in the gym on the court like a good minute to process what just happened. So we were all looking at each other. Even the Phoenix team, we're looking at each other like, it was a heck of an attempt, man, heck of a shot. I wish it would have went down. But it's a tough loss for us. We got to bounce back. Got to play a tough Milwaukee team on a back-to-back again. But it seems like, and I'm trying to get these guys to understand that every time we step on the floor, we're going to get every team's best shot. Phoenix is going to make shots. They made a lot of shots against us. Golden State's going to make a lot of shots. We're number one seed in the East. Every night we go out, and regardless of who we're playing, they're going to give us their best shot, and we have to be on our P's and Q's so we don't have to come down to a last-second shot like that.
We also saw in the basketball community some unfortunate news late last week. On Thursday night, reports came that Terrence CLARKE passed away in a car crash. Terrence CLARKE played at the University of Kentucky, recently declared for the draft, and was going to be selected in the first or second round. I know Danny has a special connection or closer connection to you, not just because he's a part of the basketball community, but he participated in one of your high school basketball tournaments that you're behind, the Battle in Apple.
Yeah, Battle in Apple, we've only done it a couple of years. It's been a fun, special event. And we had some really good kids come out of it and make a name for themselves. Some get drafted. And he would have been one of those kids. So it's such a sad story, man. We had a lot of guys here that were close to him in Philly. Obviously, Tyrese Maxey went to University of Kentucky. A lot of young guys knew him well. Tuck knew him well. I'm not sure if Paul Reed did, but a lot of Kentucky guys, a lot of the clutch guys knew him well. And it hit him hard yesterday. And just a sad news for the basketball world. He's a young kid, bright future, a lot of potential. So great things coming from him. And said for him to be part of a special event that I threw, man, it let me feel a little closer to him. Didn't know him that well personally, but I feel for his family. We're praying for him and his family, and it's just tough. We hope for the best for them.
We're back with more Inside the Green Room. That's Danny Green. I'm Harrison Sanford, and we are pleased to be joined by Tobias Harris, who's going to tell us about his season so far, how he's originally met Danny, and his impressions of the Sixers so far this season. With that being said, Tobias, you and Danny have known each other for a long time now. Both of you guys are reigning from Long Island, Suffolk County, Nassau County guy here. Do you remember your first vivid memory of Danny, whether it was looking up to him or interacting with him at first?
Yeah, I mean, we've been in the same space for a long time. I mean, Long Island's not that big of a place. So when I was young and coming up, I would always hear like Danny Green, McDonald's, All-American, going to North Carolina, all the way down the line. I would say a vivid memory would be, I think at the time I'm like a high school senior. I just had like figured out that I'm in the McDonald's game and I was in the gym working out and Danny was there and like the NBA season was on. I believe you had just got cut. And I was like, I remember going back to practice the next day with my team. I was like, damn, Danny Green was in the gym and he had just got cut, bro. I was like, the NBA is no joke. You know, it was like eye opening for me because I'm like McDonald's All American, like, you know, top power forward in the country. But then I'm seeing Danny in the gym like grinding because he had just got like it was just the life of the NBA and the business. I was like, I really remember telling my friends, like, you know, I gotta go harder because like this is like Danny Green, you know, like Long Island legend that I'm seeing still in the gym battling and working. So I remember that vividly. And I even remember like getting in the car and like, you know how my dad is like with all that. He's like, you see, Danny Green in there working, trying to get back in the league. Like nothing guaranteed. Like, man, whole car ride home was just a straight lecture on like how you have to work and all that. I was like, man, you know, so I remember that one vividly for sure.
I remember that too, man. I remember being in the gym. We were in Jersey. We call it the barn. You know, it's like in the backyard, basically for me. But being in the gym, working out with you and your brother, and also coming to one of your games at Tennessee, your freshman year. Your dad was out there, obviously being your dad, but it was fun watching. Man, I obviously watch you grow up. You know, when you were small, when you were younger, smaller guys don't remember. I guess you were known as a chunkier, heavier guy. Then you grew into your own. You and your brothers. But I remember watching you grow up, and then working out with you in the gym, competing against you some. But yeah, man, during those times when I was trying to get back into the league, that was when I had more free time. I had a chance to watch you play, watch you grow, and then watch you in college. I think it was against UConn, maybe. I think Kemba might have been there at the time. Lamb might have been there at the time. So it was a hell of a matchup, man. But yeah, we go back from a long time ago. We've been in the same space for a while now.
You know, I mean, I like it. I think it's great for him. It's kind of like a mixture of, okay, let me come out in my, my sneakers, my jeans, my t-shirt and whatever. And I got my mask on. But now when I put my jacket on, suddenly, I mean, this could be a $1,500 jacket, or, and suddenly the clothes make the man.
I was honored for his comment. I was honored because he one of the freshest in the game. I mean, he really opened up that door for players to really be able to express themselves through fashion. So I know probably a lot of the swag and fits that today's players wear, he may not get down with, but I was just happy he was rocking with mine. He was cool.
Yeah, the jacket was fire, man. You had the Cheeto jacket on. That jacket was fire, but yeah,
I've seen the Sixers and these fashion accounts start to put a picture of Danny. I think Danny might have shared the story last night. Danny on one side, Tobias on the other side. I'm trying to figure out when you guys step off the bus or step out the hotel, or you checking Danny, you checking Tobias like, oh, we coming with the heat today. Like,
I'm just trying to keep up, man. I'm just trying to keep up, man. I see the fire that he brings. He brings some heat, man. It's especially some of his jackets. I'm like, man, where'd you get that from? You know what I'm saying? But I'm just trying to keep up. I'm an old guy in this game. I'm still new to the fashion game. Tobias has been doing it since day one. What's up, everybody? We're back with more Inside the Green Room. My co-host, Harrison Sanford, my guy, Tobias Harris, fellow Long Islander. Before we get into our upcoming playoff run, let's go back to your memories of previous past playoff runs and what you've learned from them. Obviously, there's been some ups, there's been some downs. The bubble was a different experience. But one in particular, 2019 playoffs. Do you remember that matchup between the Toronto Raptors and obviously myself, me and you? What comes to mind when you think about that series?
Nothing. I forgot everything. I forgot. No, what comes to mind? Shoot, that shot.
Yeah.
The shot by Kawhi. I mean, that was, man, still a loss for words for how many bounces the ball had to take on the rim. So yeah.
I feel like every player, or yeah, most players that have gone through, done some years in the league and gone through some tough series have experienced a shot like that. I've had my fair share, and obviously the Ray Allen shot was one that hurts. Never forget. I'm gonna say I forgot it, but when I got here, it was one of the first things everybody brought to me. It's like, yo, you guys, Toronto hates you guys from Toronto. I'm like, oh damn, I wouldn't say I kind of forgot about the shot, but it was like 2 years ago for me. And I was like, damn, yeah, we did, because we had another series at that Milwaukee, and then we had to beat Golden State. But that shot right there could have taken y'all over the hump to the next round. So yeah, I remember everybody bringing that, and everybody just still in the back of the mind, they'll never forget it. And those shots like that can either help you or it can break you. But I think a lot of you guys have learned from it and have grown from it, and hopefully it'll help us with experience coming into these playoffs this year.
For sure. I mean, I think the hardest thing about the shot was that, like, I was right under the basket, and I 100% knew that shot was not going in. I was like, for like a half a second, I said, all right, let's get ready for overtime. And then it went in. I was like, what? So yeah, but yeah, it's definitely something that we continue to use as like motivation for when we get back to those moments this year, and trying to make this a long postseason run. So yeah,
I think everybody, when it first, you said half a second, but the shot seemed like it took, during real time, it seemed like it took 5 seconds for it to go in.
Yeah.
But I think in our mind, the initial first 3 seconds of it, it was like, oh man, we're going to talk. Because when he shot it, I was like, damn, that's a bad shot. That's a tough shot. And it was going off cue, and I was like, damn, it got to bounce, another bounce. We're like, oh, it's got a chance. And it only happened in 1 second, but it seemed like it was all of 5 seconds. But you said the first initial thought of it was we going into overtime.
Yeah.
When it dropped, you're like, we were obviously excited, but you guys were like, damn. I've had that happen to us before too, so I've been in those scenarios.
When did you next talk to Danny, whether it was via text or face-to-face?
I think it was face-to-face. I seen him in the summer, like we was playing open gym. And,
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can center. So, I mean, once you guys won that game, I actually wanted you guys to win it all, because, like, I've been upset if you played Milwaukee next and got swept. We just took 7 games, so, and plus Danny was on the team. So it's always great to see somebody that, I grew up with, grew up watching, grew up seeing, win another championship. So when I seen him at Yes We Can, we talked about it for like a second. And then I just was like, man, I was happy y'all won. I'm happy you won, for sure.
One of the reasons why I anticipate you guys performing well in the playoffs is not just your defense, but it's also the vibes. The chemistry, at least from what I'm seeing, has looked great. There's some videos being tweeted out, one in particular tweeted out by Lauren Rosen, the Sixers reporter. And I want to figure out what this is about, where you guys, during the pregame, Danny's like dancing on the 3-point line in the corner, and Tobias, you're doing this behind the back pass to him. I know, Danny, you always try to do something that gets you moving during the pregame, but maybe Tobias, you could start with kind of detailing the origins of that and why you guys do that.
Well, it all started out in the beginning of the year. Danny was shooting, like 30 something from 3. So then I said, all right, we're going to fix this up. So then Tyrese,
the shot doctor,
and Paul Reed came along. So every game we make sure Danny Green shoots 5 corner threes with great vibes. And we're throwing the proper energy into all the basketballs to get him ready with the behind the back passes. And now, just magically, he started shooting all the way up to 40-some%. And here we are. So we have not stopped. We are on it. So this is what we're doing.
I'm going to give my analysis of it. I've noticed, and I may be wrong, but I would have guessed that T is a somewhat of a superstitious type of guy, a little bit, or just has a very strict routine. So I watch him, he does his thing, he does his form shooting, he gets his corner threes. I usually have a routine, so I get my wing threes, I get my corner threes. And I think just one day it happened where he saw me going from one corner to the next corner, and he started feeding me the ball. And it just started as that. I'll get a couple shots and I'll leave. And, that one game I probably shot pretty well. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna start giving Danny toward the end before the anthem, I'm gonna start feeding Danny a couple corner shots. And the next, we got Tyrese involved. And he's like, all right. Then he had a hot night. So then we get the vibes in, started throwing behind the back pass. And I think because it worked a couple times, he's like, you know what, I got to keep doing this. When we won some games, Danny's shooting pretty solid. I'm going to keep this going. And then we just brought some good vibes to it. That's my analysis of it. That's the breakdown that I got. But
yeah, that's the story right there.
He fixed the shot. He's the shot doctor. Last summer, we both got engaged. I think you were maybe, it might have been the fall for yours, maybe close summer, fall-ish.
Yeah.
Take us through that day, man. What was the biggest challenge for you that day and your emotions during that time?
My biggest challenge was keeping it low key. I mean, so we were out on West Coast and I was, it was propped up. Like at first it was like, okay, we're going to do a shoot with Arc Digest, right? So, I'm like, I had to get ready, like get your makeup, whatever, it's a shoot. Like, this is the biggest shoot of our life, like Arc Digest, like it's not Slam, like, you like interior design, like they want to know about how we're gonna build a house here, whatever. So, it's like everything was solid, like I got it.
Yeah.
And then we get in the car and like, she's like, her shirt not tucked in, like got her shoes on, like she's finishing up. And I'm just like, can you like hurry up and get ready? Like, I can't get ready like outside when we get to the place. And then in my head, I really want to be like, listen up, I'm about to you need to get this together, all right? Because you'll be the first one knocking me in the head if these pictures ain't right. But then like I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna just let it happen. And then we ended up I did the proposal on it was on a plot of land that I had purchased a couple years back that we had purchased a couple years back and that we're gonna build on and build a future home on. So that was like the connection to the place. And I just had it set up. I was like talking to a planner, hey, give me this. I said, we'll have a dinner for us after. It was just an amazing time. But I wasn't nervous because
okay.
I just said like if she says no, then that's okay. I was like, all right, I'd be sad, but okay, we'll figure it out. So I wasn't nervous. I was like, we'll just do it.
I don't think we go into it thinking that they're gonna say no. I don't think that's what makes us nervous. I just think it makes us nervous because we're doing something that we're not used to doing or normally doing. And it's a very vulnerable situation. Like you have to be in a very vulnerable, to get down on a knee, to express your feelings to somebody that you love, regardless of how much you've done weird stuff around them or how comfortable, how many years you've known them. It's a very vulnerable moment. And I think once you get to that point, you're not nervous before that, but once you get there, you're like, all right, damn, I'm really doing this.
Yeah.
And I don't think they even listen to anything you're saying. They're just waiting for you to ask, will you marry me? And he's like, I love you. You might say a whole lecture or spiel, might have a whole poem. They're not hearing none of that. All they see is the ring and will you marry me? And they're just saying, they're ready to say yes. But for you, that moment is just, it's a very ups and down roller coaster of emotions. For me, it is. I thought I was gonna be cool. But when I got there, it's like, damn. All right, let me get this together, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was just a vulnerable moment.
The biggest thing for me is like, I'm in the car and I was like driving, but I was like at the stop sign, I was Googling, when you propose, do you get on your right knee or your left knee? I was like, which one did you get on?
Oh man, that's hilarious, man. But
and Tobias, the setup you had too was pretty dope. I remember Danny, myself, and Amjad Osman, our producer, we all have like a group chat. And I remember, I think one of us must have said to Danny, or maybe even Danny said like, hey, good thing you got your proposal out the way first, because Tobias pulled all the strings for this one. Man, look at this setup.
I was like, damn, look at this. I'm like, because if he would have done his before mine, I would have had to bring more heat. His was ridiculous. I'm like, this guy had an unbelievable setup.
I had to do it right. I had to.
You did.
Bar high. So the bar high for sure.
You did. I was like, damn, thank God I got mine out of the way. When you Google, what'd you get? Was it the left knee or the right knee?
I forgot, but I think it was
the right knee. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
If you win this year, and let's say the date is August for you. Let's say Tobias, the date ends up being sometime before the season, whatever it might be. Do you bring the Larry O'Brien to the wedding?
He has
to. I might have to, man. I said, wedding is one of those things you want everybody to show up. You'd love for everybody to show up, but you're not tripping if they don't, because you're paying per plate. So it's like, I want you to be there, but if you don't, you know what I'm saying, we have half the people show up. You know what I'm saying? It's a little cheaper wedding. You know what I'm saying? But if everybody's there, I have played with a lot of teammates. I played with a lot of people. I have a lot of friends. It would be amazing to have them to be able to experience that and see Larry O'Brien there at the wedding. It would be dope. So if they allow it, I think I would for sure.
Tobias, if one of your teammates from this current Sixers team is at your wedding, who's giving the worst speech?
Paul Reed.
Smart guy. I really love that guy.
I gotta get some type of explanation as to why.
Paul be like, honestly, I don't even know why I'm here.
Like, it's lit, and then just walk out.
Which would probably be actually the best speech.
Or
all right. And then last question: who is? And I'll let both of you answer this, and we'll say goodbye. Who's giving the best speech? Who are you relying on to give that moment, the extra feather in the cap?
I mean, you're looking at the guys right here, and we've known each other the longest.
Yeah.
Them that are president of the league, this guy's the mayor of the league. Always says the right thing, the politically correct things to say. I guess we got some guys on our team that are some real wild ones and reckless. But if I said outside of Tobias, I would probably go Matisse if I had to guess for my guy.
Hey, that was a great pick right there. Now we'll go with I'll put Mike Scott up there.
Yeah,
I think he gives the best speech.
Mike Scott, yeah, he's a real one.
He'll get everybody turned.
There we go.
Yeah, for sure.
There we go. I hope you guys can get turned after the season's over and have something really good to celebrate. A first ring for Tobias, another one for Danny would be a really dope thing to do. Tobias, we enjoy your time. Danny, got anything?
No, man. Read, rate, subscribe, review. Appreciate your time, big dog. Man, much love always.
Always. I appreciate y'all. Thanks for having me on.